Hello, good evening, God bless you. It's your very own Amanda Lasmon. You're welcome to the Upliftment Hour with Amanda. Tonight, we're going to be talking about a very important topic. Please, as you come on, kindly share this video because it's a topic that can help someone. It's a topic that can remove someone from a life of bondage. Please, as you come on, kindly share the video so that we can help other people. Thank you very much, Barry. Thank you very much. Triumphant Bat Okoso, thank you very much. Edoru Charles, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Adam Glory, God bless you for joining me tonight. Greetings, my love. How are you? So like I was saying, we're going to be talking about a topic that is very close to my heart. It's something that I have dealt with, something that I've been through. And I think that it has come to a point where I need to use that which I have gone through to help somebody else. God bless you, God bless you, God bless you. Please praise solo to good evening, God bless you. As you come on, kindly share the video. I want to appreciate all of you for joining. I want to appreciate you for sharing. I want to appreciate you for being there. Now, like I said, the topic that we'll be talking about today is a very private topic, a very delicate topic, a very difficult subject for people to talk about. A thing that we are not supposed to be ashamed of, but people feel ashamed when they are going through it. I have been through it, so I know what I'm talking about. The topic we're going to talk about is infertility. Infertility. In many places, people say barrenness, but the right word is infertility. The inability to conceive a child, to reproduce through natural way. You know, the inability to reproduce naturally. The correct way of, reproduction is boy meets girl, or man meets woman, and then they conceive and they have a child. And many of us, when we get married, we have our lives planned. This is my plan. I go to school, I pass out, I get married, and then you have a child. You build a house with white picket fences, and then you have a child, and you live happily ever after. That is how we see life. That's the plan that we all have. Yes, this is a very delicate, sensitive topic that we don't touch. We don't touch it. We don't want to talk about it. Even when we are going through it, we prefer to die in silence. But the truth is, we should not die in silence. It's a topic it's a subject that we should feel comfortable to talk about. It's a subject that we should feel comfortable to talk to other people about. I am not saying announce your issues to everybody, but it's a topic that we should not feel ashamed to talk about. Like I said, when we get married, right from a certain age, our mothers, as women, our mothers begin to tell us, this is how you live in your husband's house. This is how you treat your husband. This is how you raise your children. This is how you do this. Shine your eye. God bless you. Let me take a second to greet some people. Mogalo Amaka, I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Please kindly share this video as you come on. Help me share. Invite someone, because this is not just doing a live video. I personally feel I've been wanting to do this for a long time, but I believe that this is the right time. Since my book came out, a lot of people have been sending me, those who have read the book, they have been sending me messages How did you deal with this? How did this go? Why did this happen? Why did the other one happen? And when I talk to people and I say certain things, or they say something, and I complete the statement they are trying to make, and they are like, oh, wow, how did you know that? Of course, I know that because I went through it. And to them, sometimes they think, oh, I'm alone in this. Sometimes they think nobody else is going through this. But when you talk to them and they realize that you have been through that, they realize that you understand what they are talking about, that it resonates with you, that you understand what they are going through. It makes the load lighter. It makes the load lighter. The issue of infertility is not something to be ashamed about. Now, in the African setting, there is this stereotype that, for example, when somebody says, well, my relationship broke because there was a question of infidelity, the first thought in our head is, oh, the man cheated. But in most cases, it may not be like that. Also, when there is infertility, the moment they say, well, we don't have a child because we are dealing with infertility, the first thought in our head, the woman has a problem. But it is not like that. Actually, the statistics has it that 1/3 of the issues of infertility in many relationships is ascribed to the men. 1/3 of it to women. And the other remaining part is unknown. Maybe due to medical reasons, maybe due to hormonal imbalance. Why am I here today? I am not here as a medical doctor. I am here as someone who has been through infertility. 5 years of infertility. I've been married now for 21 years. And my senior daughter is 16 years, which means the first 5 years of my marriage. Thank you, Anambong. God bless you. The first 5 years of my marriage was spent looking for a child, going from one doctor to another. But I was lucky that from the onset, we had a series of tests and then realized from where the problem was coming. In our case, it was from me. It wasn't from my husband. But in some cases, it could be from the man. So my number one thing, like I said, I'm not here as a medical doctor to tell you how to prevent infertility, but how to deal with it. Deal with the emotional roller coaster that comes with it. Many people would have advice for you. Or sleep on that side, lie the other way, eat that one, eat the other one. There are certain things that we need to open our eyes to. Like I said, in the African setting, the moment it happens, the moment they stay 1 year, 2 years, and there is no child coming, the first thought is the woman is to blame. She has the problem. She becomes, she gets this stigma. In many places, they'll call her a man. In many places, they say this one, even the family of the man may come and throw her things out of the house because she's unable to conceive. In many places, the family of the man put her through hell. In many cases, tests are not done. Medical treatment is not taken. We just sit there and then we pray. I believe very much in prayer. But as someone who has been through infertility and listening to the kind of terror, the kind of trauma, the kind of depression that a lot of women are going through, I didn't know that it was this much. Yes, I dealt with it. I was in that position. I was in that situation. But I didn't realize that other people were and are still going through that psychological trauma, that emotional roller coaster that goes, infertility is something that even the World Health Organization recognizes it as a disease. If after 1 year, I don't know how it is in other countries, but in Belgium, If you go for any, there are some medical treatments that you will go for, you will not get reimbursed for it. But if you go for fertility treatment, the government pays, your health insurance pays at about 60% of the treatment. So they come in between because this is recognized as an illness, it's recognized as a disease. But in our case, we look at it as either something that somebody had done, is a spiritual problem, and one witch or wizard in our village is causing it for us. My husband's sister is the one doing it. I am here, like I said, not as a medical doctor, but as someone who has been through this. And having gone through it, now I look at many things that I had done when I was going through infertility, and now think back and say, oh, I shouldn't have done that. And many things that I didn't do, that I look back now and say, maybe I should have, I should have done that. The truth is, nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody teaches you about infertility. As we are growing up, our mothers tell us how to live a good life in our husband's home, how to treat our children, how to take care of, how to mingle with the society. But there is one thing nobody teaches you. What if you marry and you are unable to conceive? How do you deal with it? How do we deal with infertility? Because in our heads, which is very normal with human beings, we calculate, we make up our mind exactly how we want our lives to be. We plan it out, graduate from school, marry, meet a very handsome and very nice, loving man, marry him, buy a house, have children. And it's all well worked out. But sometimes it doesn't work like that. Sometimes, no matter how Christian you are, no matter how born again you are, no matter how holy you are, these things happen. And when infertility creeps into your relationship, it comes with a lot of stress. It comes with a lot of trauma. It comes with a lot of self-blame. It comes with a lot of things that you didn't plan for. And sometimes we do not know how to treat it. Now, the main symptom of infertility is that inability to conceive, inability to have a child, inability to reproduce. Many are the reasons why people don't get pregnant. There are so many reasons. It could be as a result of hormonal imbalance. It could be as a result of maybe the man has low sperm count. It could be that you as the woman has some problem in yourself, but it is not something to be ashamed of. Yes, somebody says, yeah, great topic indeed, and I think it should be taught in marriage counseling. Yes, and you will see these supposed Christians mocking women with kids. I think it's women without kids. The truth is this. The reason many people don't want to talk about it is because of mockery. They don't want to be mocked. Nobody wants to show this weakness in me. But infertility in you, the man, the woman, is not a sign of weakness. It's nothing that you did to yourself. Okay? It is nothing that you did to yourself. You have no reason to feel ashamed about it. And many times, we don't want to talk about it because we feel like if we talk about it, people will laugh at us. But it's not about you. How you present yourself is not, you can only control how you present yourself. How other people take you is their problem. My first advice, if you get married and in the first 1 year you see that nothing is happening, instead of running from one place to another, trying to find out the witch or the wizard that is disturbing you, Have yourself and your husband checked out first. While you are praying, while you are fasting, while you are looking up, looking upon the Lord, while you are waiting upon the Lord to do what He can do. Because I believe something. I believe that I believe in miracle. I'm a product of miracle. I'm a product of grace. So I believe greatly that if not for the power of God, if not for the miracle of God, I won't be here. So I am not in any way disputing prayer. Yes. Yes. I'm not. I want you to pray. I want you to fast. I want you to believe God. But while you are believing God, go and have yourself and your husband checked out. It's a very common thing among the white people that when there is a situation, they go to a doctor. Not everything is witch and wizard. Not everything is witch and wizard. Sometimes you need to just take that step and, have yourself checked out. Your doctor can check and see whatever the problem is and begin to deal with it. That is for him. Many of these reasons why people can't get pregnant, sometimes it's actually nothing. Sometimes there is nothing wrong. Sometimes it could be from stress. Sometimes it could be from hormonal imbalance, like in my own case. Sometimes it could be low sperm count or mobility problem in this, in the semen of the man. There are so many reasons, but this is not for you and I to figure out. It is for the doctor to figure it out. But if you don't go to the doctor and you begin to believe that the day I got married, my husband's sister helped me to tie my wrapper, she gave me one present that I think is poisoned, that's why I can't get pregnant. No. The moment you remove those thoughts from your head. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is because I have been through that. Where people begin to tell you, 1 year, 2 years, you're not pregnant. You better go and find out, maybe something is wrong. Maybe one mother or one father or one in-law or one the other is the one worrying you. But sometimes these things are just medical conditions. Sometimes they are just medical conditions. And if you don't, rewire your brain, if you don't rewire your brain, if you don't emancipate, like Bob Marley says, he says, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. If we continue to think that everything that happens in our lives is as a result of the demon or the devil, then we're going to remain in one place. Certain things are just medical conditions that nobody caused, that your body failed. And we should be willing to accept that and deal with it. So, for the husband and the wife, I personally say, have yourselves checked out to see what exactly the problem is. And for the woman, because the reason I keep talking about the woman is that in many cases, even though it's not her fault, even though the problem is not from her, many times she bears the blame. She bears the pain. She bears the hurt. If the problem is from her husband, many men will not want to talk about it. Because of the same reason I gave before, because we are embarrassed to talk about infertility in a marriage. We are embarrassed to talk about it. We feel ashamed to talk about it, especially when it's in the man, especially our African men. No, nobody must hear that. You don't have to tell people, but get treatment for it. Allow yourself to be tested. Yes, we wish to avoid wasting many years, and somebody is saying, we waste so many years shying from approaching it correctly and just to realize too late. Yes, many times we are so shy to talk about it. We are afraid to talk about it. We don't know what to do. And because we don't talk about it to somebody else, Nobody can offer us maybe any kind of help. If I didn't go through it, I didn't know what, there are so many fertility options. There are so many options apart from getting pregnant yourself. You can adopt a child. You can use a surrogate mother if your womb is not working well. But if you don't find out on time and immediately begin, it's my wife who is not getting pregnant. But brother, it is also possible that the problem is from you. Not that you did anything wrong. Sometimes it's probably what we did as young people, but many times it's just the hormones working wrongly. It's not the witch, it's not the wizard, it's not the devil, it's not the demon. It's just our body not functioning properly. And that is nothing to be ashamed about, because you are not the creator of yourself. You are not the maker of your body. And so when a certain part of your body is not functioning well, you look for medical care. And if it's something that can be taken care of, then the doctor will take care of it. If it's something that cannot be taken care of it, you look for another option, because there are so many other options. You can adopt. You can take a surrogate mother. But our problem is that many times we hide. We hide. We secretly go to native doctors. We take all kinds of herbs. And to tell you the truth, herbs are good. If you find a good one, they are good. I mean, herbs from midwives. I'm not talking of native doctors. But many times, taking herbs and taking medications without having a proper medical checkup will only help us lose so many years, especially in the Christendom. When a man and a wife are going through infertility, many times, what do? We just keep quiet about it. We don't tell anybody. We keep secretly sowing seed to get pregnant. We keep secretly sowing seed to have children without checking out, what is my problem? I am not saying don't sow seed, but I'm saying, first of all, have your body examined, have your body checked out. And then, if at the end of the day there is nothing wrong with you or your husband, then go ahead. Sow your seed. Do what you need to do. Do what you need to do. But first of all, make sure that your body is functioning properly. And when you know that your body is functioning properly, or even if you know that you, as the woman, I keep referring to the women because many a time the blame is placed on us, especially in the African setting. The blame is always on the woman. The family of the man may not understand, because if the problem comes from the man, he will never mention it to his family that, look, the problem is mine. I am the one with the mobility problem. I am the one with the whatever the problem is. He will be too shy to tell his family so that they don't bring fire into his home. So that's why I keep advising the women that if the problem is yours, my sister, if you are the one that is having difficulty, maybe your husband is okay, but you are the one. The reason I'm saying this, apart from the fact that many times women get blamed. I never got blamed. Nobody blamed me. My husband was 100% in support of what was going on. We knew from the onset that it was my issue. It was my problem. I was the one with the hormonal imbalance. Nobody blamed me. Nobody, tried to taunt me. I didn't have in-laws who came to tell me you are a man or if you don't have a child. But the guilt came from me. Sister, you, the sister that is watching right now, you may be going through infertility, and inside yourself, you have already started thinking some thoughts in your head. I want us to look at these very few things. There are many of them, but let us look at these very few ones. Since this is a very wide topic, I will not finish it in one day. We will do it as a series so that we give people chance to ask questions and then we can give feedback. Many are the thoughts of a woman dealing with infertility. Many are the thoughts, and those thoughts, now looking back, many of them are not correct. These are thoughts that I thought in those days when I was going through infertility. And looking at them now, I cost myself many years of grief, many years of unhappiness because I was not thinking correctly. And I want to save many women from not thinking correctly, from thinking the right way when you're going through infertility, to save yourself many years of sadness because of your way of thinking. We need to change the way we think. A woman who is going through infertility, the number one thing that she feels is a sense of worthlessness. You feel in yourself that you're not worth it. You feel a sense of shame. When others are talking, it's difficult for you to talk because you feel like, well, what have I got to say? I am married. All these my friends, they got married last year and they have children already. This one got married 2 years ago. She has a child already. I got married 5 years ago and I don't have. So you begin to feel small. You go from like this to like this to like this to like this. Your light begins to dim. Sister, you have no reason to feel any sense of unworthiness. You know why? It is not your fault. There is always this sense. I talked about it in my book. What I was feeling at the time that I was going through infertility is what I am telling you. It's not something that I read. It's something that I dealt with, something that I passed through. When you are going through infertility, we're unable to get pregnant, you don't think any other thing. Every other thing you're doing is just Jara. Your number one thought is, how do I get pregnant? What can I do to get pregnant? When will I get pregnant? Where will I get pregnant? How will I get pregnant? Everything revolves around getting pregnant. But if you, as a woman who is going through infertility, will just take a moment to realize that you have done nothing wrong to be ashamed of. You have done nothing to your body to feel small. You have done nothing to feel unworthy. You have done nothing to make you feel little. I know it is easier said than done because I went through that. At that time, many people will come and give advice. Some will tell you, sleep like this, lie like that, eat the other one, eat the other one. You take every kind of advice. But sister, learn to listen to the advice. Take the one that is worth it, that you think will work for you, and leave the other ones. Some people come to you and they tell you things like, oh, but it's nothing. All you have to do is just relax. All you have to do is just don't lick orange, don't chop banana, don't do this one, don't do that, don't do the other one. And sometimes some people just make certain jokes. The truth of the matter is you have to take things easy. Yes. Also in this state, never take any conversation in any gathering about children as if to mock you. Aha! That's what I was just going to say. Sometimes people on their own, they are just talking about their children, how wonderful their kids are, without paying attention that you sitting near them, has no child. Because you didn't tell the story, because you didn't tell them you are struggling with something. So your friends, when they are talking about their children, the truth of the matter is, we all brag about our children. When my daughter is doing something, I know I am proud. I am a proud mother, so I want to talk about my daughter. When I'm talking with friends and then they bring up their daughter, oh, my daughter did that and that, it's nice to hear. But when I was trying to get pregnant, any talk of children, you think is directed at you. You think they are mocking you, but they are not. You think everybody is talking about you. When they talk about their children, when they talk about their homes and their families, in your head you think, oh, they are just laughing at me because I have no child. But that's not the truth. The people are not even thinking about you. I had these thoughts in my head. When people are invited to maybe kids' birthday and whatever, maybe I don't even know the people, but they know people that I know. In my head, I feel, yeah, if I had a child, maybe they would have also invited me. Yeah, they don't know me because I don't have a child. It's not true. You have to emancipate yourself already. If you are going through it, if you are planning to get married, nobody is wishing anybody any evil. Well, prepare your mind that if anything like this happens, you think people are laughing at you. They are not laughing at you. They are not thinking about you. They are not talking. Yes, I know that there are some people who may talk about you. But let me tell you something, 90% of the people you will encounter who will be talking about their kids and how happy their home is and how good their children are doing, they're not talking about you. They don't want to, they don't want to mock you. It just happened. You go to an occasion, all the other women, all your friends are talking about other things. Right there in the middle of those conversations, in the middle of the wedding, in the middle of the baby shower, in the middle of whatever is happening. Others are discussing about movies, about the weather. In your head, you are having a conversation with yourself. This party will finish around 7. I'll get home by 7:30. And then maybe by 7:45, I'll see if we can try to make a baby. All you think about is, how do I get pregnant? When will I get pregnant? How is it going to happen? It consumes you. Child of God, you need to learn, woman, to enjoy your husband. To enjoy your husband. I'm not saying what somebody else told me. This is my own situation. At the time, I didn't have anything. I didn't really have, it came to a point where I didn't have much to discuss other than, so what's the next move now to get pregnant? And on Monday and Tuesday, you keep calculating. You keep calculating that you don't even have time to enjoy your relationship with your husband. Try to enjoy your relationship with your husband. Try to enjoy your relationship with your partner, because what you are actually partners. He's not the cause of your problem, and you are not the cause of the problem. Even if one of you has a problem, or both of you have problems, none of you is an enemy. Both of you are in the same team and must play as a team. When you don't play as a team, that is when friends, that is when families have an open door to come into your relationship and question your husband, why is your wife not pregnant yet? That is when your own family will not have the open door to ask you, are you sure this your husband is a man? Your friends will ask you, are you sure this your husband is a man? Because, when we were girls, Jenny Ortega, God bless you. When we were girls, you got pregnant that time now. You had an abortion even. If you could get pregnant then, why can't he make you pregnant? I think he's the one with the problem. Sister, the truth is, what your body was 10 years ago may not be what it is today. Don't open the door in your marriage for people to come in. When you are constantly moody, because one of the symptoms, one of the signs that you have a problem when you are going through infertility is that you are constantly moody. I'm not telling you what somebody else went through. I'm telling you what I went through. And I want to use my own experience to advise you, that woman, that man, that couple, you know, that if you are going through infertility, the inability to conceive, you've been married 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. In my own case, it was 5 years. But I've seen people who have been married for 10, 15 years and they don't have children. There are other options. Go to the hospital. Look for fertility hospitals. Have yourself checked out. If it's not possible, look into adoption. If it's something you can do, it's not by force. If both of you decide, okay, we don't want, then it should be your choice. Not you keep doing the same thing, blame game. My mother, my father-in-law, my mother-in-law is the one holding me, without having yourself medically checked out. I said that before, but I can't overemphasize on that particular place. So, sisters, if you are going through this, you must learn to enjoy your husband. Enjoy your husband without, because when you are going through infertility, you are thinking constantly, how do I make a baby? When do I make a baby? It's no longer enjoying love making with your husband. This time, it's now you must do. You must do it. It becomes a job. Because, yeah, if you don't do it in the morning, I may not get pregnant in the afternoon. Maybe if we do it in the afternoon, I may get pregnant in the night. But it doesn't work like that. We must learn to enjoy our relationship and realize that your husband and yourself, you are in one team. Don't become an enemy to your husband, because the truth is this. When a woman is going through infertility, you are the one feeling the pain. Your husband is there to help you. But I don't know. In my own case, my husband escorted me anywhere I needed to go. Any hospital they said, come, I will go there. And my husband will support me. But when every month I had my period, I was the one in pain, in tears. Your husband is not going to cry with you. You know why? Because he is built differently. He is wired differently. The way he experiences it is not the way you experience it. In my own case, when I had my monthly flow, I expected him to have the cramps that I was having. I expected him to experience the same feeling of nausea that I was having. Now, when I look back at that, I'm thinking, oh my God, what was I thinking? How come I have headache and I expect another person to have headache? But, yeah, somebody says African men are 90% not supportive in this issue. I hear a lot of that from many women. But there are also some African men who support their wives. And I will encourage the African men to support more. To support more. Have an open mind about getting yourself checked out. Don't automatically assume that your wife is the issue. And even if that is the case, that your wife is the issue, from the people the people I talk to, there is one point that they keep hitting on. I'm just afraid that my husband is going to marry another woman. Is it the men that are giving them this feeling of insecurity? This feeling that now, when a woman is going through infertility, already in her head, she feels unworthy. So for the husbands, there is absolutely no reason to make her feel even more insecure by threatening to marry another person. Sometimes the men are supportive, but it's the women who begin to think, maybe my husband will marry another woman because I don't have a child. Sister, instead of focusing on he may marry another woman, he may do this, he may do that, why don't you talk to him and let him know what you are feeling. Remove the guilt. One of the things that ate me up when I was trying to get pregnant is, yes, she sees herself already as a loser. Yes, that is it. We must not see ourselves as losers. If you don't get pregnant, it doesn't make you a loser. Think about it, that there are so many things working for you. Think about it, that there are so many things that you have done well. So this particular one, if it's not working at this moment, it doesn't make you a loser. It doesn't make you less of a woman. I come across many women who are trying to get pregnant and they have tried 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. And if it doesn't work, you begin to see this face. I'm looking out on the Lord. I've been married for so years, My husband family, they're doing that and that. The smile drains from their faces. Why? Because you're struggling to get pregnant? Like I said before, it sounds easier said than done. Because I was there. I had this feeling of, my body has failed me. Why? It makes you feel less because you think your body has failed you. But the truth is, you are not less. You deserve to be happy, whether you are pregnant now or not. Why you are looking for solution, why you are going for medical treatment, why you are praying if that is what you believe, why you are taking herbs if that is what you believe. Learn to love and enjoy your husband. Learn to have another conversation with your husband that doesn't revolve around, I must get pregnant in the night, I must get pregnant in the morning, I must get pregnant in the day. Learn to have other conversations. Learn to enjoy your husband. That feeling of guilt, maybe you had an abortion as a young girl, a mistake in your past. And at this moment, what are you thinking? I wish I didn't do that abortion. I wish I didn't sleep with that boy. That is your past. That is your past. That's not the reason you're not able to get pregnant now. There are women who all they have to do is take a look at their husband and they are pregnant. And maybe many of those women are women who may have done so many things in their past. So because you dated more than one boy in your past, it's not the reason you're not getting pregnant. So that feeling of guilt must leave you. That feeling of guilt. You know what guilt is? Guilt is actually something meant for people who have deliberately committed something. People who have deliberately done something. The question I want to ask you, sister, who is going through infertility, what exactly did you do to ensure that you don't get pregnant? I know that the answer is nothing. The answer is nothing. So why are you killing yourself? Learn to delete guilt from your heart. Wow. Jenny. Okay, when I finish, we will talk. Okay, I'll send you a message. God bless you. I appreciate you. You see, learn to enjoy your husband. Learn to remove guilt. What did I do wrong? What did the other one do wrong? There are many women who committed many abortions. And the moment they get married, they get pregnant and they have their children. Some will tell you, oh, you committed abortion. Okay, maybe God just gave you one child and you threw away that one child. That's why you don't have. We don't know what the problem is. It could be your husband. It could be you. It could be the environment where you live. It could be stress. It could be anything. If you don't remove the guilt and work on yourself and have yourself checked out, how will you know exactly what the problem is? How will you begin to solve the problem? Another of the thing is this persistent feeling of sadness. Persistent feeling of sadness. I am sad. I am sad. Do you think that if you remove that sadness, or if you, not, because the question I asked now, those days I wasn't asking it. Those days I was feeling the same thing. Maybe if I get sad and maybe God will not help me. It doesn't work like that. If you're going to keep trusting God to do the miracle, your sad face is not going to help him do it faster. If you actually trust God, then there is no reason for you to be sad. So becoming sad every day that you don't have one moment of enjoyment of your marriage because, well, I can't get pregnant. I've not been able to get pregnant. So that's why I feel so sad. You go to work, you have no joy. Are you aware that some people decide, oh, I don't want to have a child. I can, but I don't. And if you, like me in those days, if you are a person who really, really want to have a child, and it's impossible because for one reason or the other, the ovary is not working, the uterus is not working, or whatever the problem is, there are solutions. There are other options, plenty of options. So robbing yourself and your husband years of joy. Robbing yourself and your husband because that time you are doing, did you use it to give your husband joy? That time you are, angry and unhappy and sad to the point of depression that you have no interest in anything else. What part of it is enjoyment in your marriage? My sister, I know it is difficult. I know it is hard. I have been there. And I understand you. I understand you because I hear you saying, well, sister, you don't understand. You don't understand what my husband is doing. You don't understand how my husband is treating me. You don't understand how his family, how they are treating me. You don't understand what my friends are saying behind my back. Many times they are not saying anything. Many times they talk. Many times some come to advise you and they tell you the most stupid thing. But are you going to kill yourself? I remember when I was trying to get pregnant, an elderly man once told me, he said, this one you're trying, and you cannot get pregnant. Is it that your husband cannot make you pregnant? If he can't make you pregnant, he has many friends now. Why don't you ask any of his friends to help you? I was feeling like this and now felt like this. He said it as a joke. An old man. Hello, darling man, God bless you, sis. I went from like this to like that. Just knowing in my head that, oh, it's my body that failed me. And then you begin to think, oh, I wish my body didn't fail me. This man wouldn't have said this to me. I wish my body didn't fail me. That person wouldn't have said this to me. Many times, people, good evening, Excel, oh, God bless you. Many times, people try to advise you. Many times you will hear the word, just relax. It's you causing it by yourself because you worry too much. You must relax. It's the truth. You must relax. But deep inside you, maybe you know more than they know. Maybe there is something the doctor has told you that they don't know. So when they advise you, you have a little, like, yes, Sister Linda says, all we need is a little patience. And the patience is not just killing yourself and worrying. I want to save you the grief that I went through. I want to save you, sister, the pain that I went through. Because if somebody had told me all these things, I would not have lost many years thinking, oh, am I good enough? I'm not good enough. Oh, now my body, I couldn't get pregnant. I can't get pregnant. This month again, I'm not pregnant. Until I had a child And you're thinking maybe any day your husband doesn't do what you want, or you have your argument, and you in your head, the man didn't say anything, eh? The man did not say anything about you having a child. In your head, you're thinking, do I blame him? Man, because I don't have a child. If I had a child. No! If you have a child, you will still argue. You will still have your differences. You will still have... Come, this man is not your brother. Even your brother born by your parents that was raised in the same home with you, you still have your differences. Let alone another man's child, raised in another home, raised in another culture maybe. So you just believe, oh, if I had a child. If your friends are going somewhere and they don't invite you, yeah, if I had a child. But if you have 7 children, you will always have haters and lovers. Everybody's not going to love you. Everybody's not going to hate you. There will definitely be those who, who will not like you, who will talk behind your back. Concentrate on enjoying other parts of your life that does not revolve around getting pregnant. Does it feel like infertility is managing your life? Does it feel like the thought to get pregnant is now the manager of your life? Does it feel like that? That infertility has become, the inability to have a child has become the manager of your life. You don't think another thing. You don't do another thing. All you do is, I want to have a child. I need to have a child. Is infertility managing your life? I talked about guilt before. Many times since that part I didn't know before. It was when I came to Europe that I realized that some people do it when they feel like, they want to go to school for a long time, get their masters, get their whatever. They harvest their eggs on time and, save it somewhere so that when they are ready, they can implant it. Because as you grow older, your eggs, to some people, their body begins to malfunction. It begins to, yield less and less. So some people, when they are going to school, when they feel like they have a career that will take them long before they start thinking of having children, they harvest their eggs and they keep it somewhere. Now, this is part of the guilt that we as women suffer when we are going through infertility, when we we are having difficulty getting pregnant. We blame ourselves. Why didn't I marry Paul? That time I was with Paul, I got pregnant too. Why didn't I have that child? Why didn't I marry earlier? Why didn't I save my egg? Why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? Blaming yourself from today to tomorrow is not going to return back the hand of the clock. In our lives, there are many things that we look back and we say, oh, I wish I did this. That would not have happened. If I had not done that, this one would not have happened. Are you God? We have no way of knowing what our actions will yield tomorrow. So, well, if it's because I didn't marry Paul or because I didn't marry early, well, I married late. I didn't marry late. At least I thought that I didn't marry late. I married at the age of 28. And I see people now who marry at the age of 35, the next second, they're pregnant. When I got married, I was 28. I didn't think that it was late. And there were many people who were my age mates who were older than I was, and they were getting pregnant. Even people of 40 something. And I was there blaming myself. You cannot blame yourself, sister, for what has happened, for the milk that has been spilled. You can't blame yourself. You may feel guilty. In my case, I was feeling guilty because I was going through different doctors, trying to get a second opinion, trying to get a third opinion. And I was feeling guilty, like, yeah, my husband's money, I'm just spending it on fertility doctors. But at the end of the day, the man is not complaining. You are the one crying. And the real reason you're crying is not because you feel sorry for the money. It's just that hormone inside you. It's just that feeling of guilt because you know, oh, I'm supposed to marry and have a child for my husband. And now I don't have a child. So I must be a terrible person. Sister, you are not a terrible person. If you have been married for 5 years, 10 years, I don't know how many years it has been, and you're not pregnant yet. Number one, you are not the enemy. Number two, you must learn to enjoy your husband. Whether you have a child now or not, no child right now, you must learn to enjoy your marriage. There are so many difficulties in marriage. Why compound it? Why add another one? Why add your guilt and destroy the atmosphere in your house? Yes, you can feel guilty, but don't. It's not worth it. Are you worried he may leave you? Express your feelings. Tell him. Tell him what you are feeling. If you are worried that your husband may leave you because you are not pregnant, you know what that means? That you are allowing infertility to define you as a person. Because between you, you are a person. And then the infertility is a problem, but it's not you. You are not infertility. It is something that is happening to you, but that's not who you are. If you're a nurse, you are still a nurse. If you're a doctor, you are still a doctor. If you're a woman if you're a cleaner, you are still a cleaner. So if you're a good person with a good heart, you are still a good person with a good heart. If you're a bad person, you are still a bad person. Your infertility, your troubles with infertility does not define you as a person. As a couple, it will be a good idea to go for counseling. Not counseling with your mother-in-law. There are professionals in Nigeria now. They are also available. When we were growing up, those things were not available in Africa. But these days they are. I was listening to a woman who said that, I think it was a woman who said a pastor allegedly raped her. She talked about going for counseling. She wasn't going for counseling in London or America or Europe. She's going to counseling in Nigeria. I even saw in a Nigerian movie where someone had a counselor. So if they are now putting it in their movies, it means that it's in existence in Nigeria. When I saw that, I was like, counselor for Nigeria. A psychiatrist. Oh, okay, well, maybe there are. So people are going for counseling. Until I heard that woman say, well, I have a psychiatrist now who I am working with and who is helping me deal with the situation of what happened. So even if you're in Nigeria, Itoha, God bless you. Olen Linda, God bless you. Thank you. Please help share this video. It might help somebody. It might help somebody who is struggling with infertility. It might help somebody to understand that both of you as husband and wife must work as a team. If you have any questions, if you have had this experience, if you are going through it, if you have anything to, anything pertaining to infertility or barrenness, as many people say, you can call in. The number is 0473 5260 48. You can call in and contribute. And for those people who have a question, you are free to also send in your question. Either put it in the comment section and then we deal with it. God bless all of you. Helen Verhasselt, God bless you. Uwagboy Queen, God bless you. Tina Onyebuchi, God bless you. Thank you. I work for a blessing. God bless you. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining. Vicky Suleiman, God bless you. Bayong Ann, God bless you. Excel, Dalimado, I appreciate you. Bright Osagir, God bless all of you for joining. Please help me share the video. Jenny Ortega, God bless you. Regina Ogeva, God bless you. K Blast Obes, Benjamin Kwado Aswako, God bless you. Rita Ogume, God bless you. Barry Randy Wando, God bless you. I appreciate all of you for joining me tonight. To Sasero Viasu, Stella Isong, God bless you. God bless you. Thank you very much. Grace Mbua, Shibus of Movies, Bros, God bless you. I appreciate you. Joseph Imoke, God bless you. Lorenzo Tulso, God bless you. RCCG St. Nicholas, God bless you for joining me. Terry Tega, Church Boy, Patrick Obioma, I appreciate you. Prophet Avidu Frank, I appreciate you. Frank Elema, God bless you. Thank you for joining. Pastor Ratako, God bless you. Thank you very much. Please continue to share the video. Sophia Osang, Sasha Diana, God bless you. I appreciate you. Shine your eyes, thank you very much. Joseph Kweku, God bless you. Zaina Mutali, Daniel AC John, I appreciate all of you. Thank you very much. Kenny Mobile, thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining me tonight. We will continue to talk about this. Yes. She says, yes, is something you wouldn't wish even your enemy to experience, especially in our African community. Yes, very, you're right. Infertility is something you will not wish on anybody. Are you aware that even the World Health Organization, like I said in the beginning, recognizes infertility as a disease? But it's because it's not just the inability to have a child. It is the stress that comes with it. It is the worry that comes with it. Some women go into depression. Some women go into depression because of infertility. They dry. You see them, if they were fair before, you see them, their fairness begin to lose color. If they were black, their blackness begin to lose color. Because they have been married for 2 years. Another girl picking. I don't have a child. Especially if the family of the man is disturbing them. And sometimes the family of the man is not even disturbing. Sometimes the man is not disturbing. But it's just in us to worry. And if someone had told me, somebody had taught me right from the beginning that, look, this is a possibility. You know, when I think about infertility, I think of life insurance. Sometimes when this life insurance come to you the first time, I remember the first time a life insurance person came here, I think he was from Dela, and was trying to explain to us that we need to take a life insurance, this, that. That's okay. What is that really? Okay. And the man was explaining to us that, you know, it is very necessary to have a life insurance. And he said, yeah, you know, like when you die, when they want to bury you, I said, ta! I told my husband, no, please. Tell this man, I don't want this man here. No, I don't want this kind of insurance. Which kind of insurance is that you are telling me if I die, when they want to bury me, they will use the money to bury me? No, I don't want that kind of a thing. In my head, I was thinking, and that is how it is also among us African people. I think that this is a subject that people should discuss. There should be lessons about it before people get married. In case there is a delay. In case there is a delay, deal with it. This is how you deal with it, because sometimes your worry, your insecurities, your depression can lead your husband to start doing what he doesn't want to do. Because I don't know of any man who wants to come home and meet that face. No. Nobody wants to come home and meet a sad person, an unhappy person, a person who's crying morning, day and night, a person who is tensed up, that when you are with your husband, you are not enjoying that moment that you spend together because you are worried. Should I raise my hand or raise my feet or raise my leg or do this or do that because I want to get pregnant? Your worry is no longer to be together. Your worry is When do I get pregnant? It's Tuesday today. Maybe by Thursday I'll get pregnant. Maybe by Wednesday I'll get pregnant. Or should I do it? I mean, it takes over your life. I talked about it in my book, how it hijacked my life. Infertility hijacked my life. That is why I stand here today, or I'm sitting here today to talk to us women, especially women. The men, the only way that men can help is when you notice that 1 year, 2 years, you are not getting pregnant, or even 1 year, in fact, even 1 year, that you're not getting pregnant. Agree with your wife. Go and have yourselves checked out and deal with the problem immediately. And if you find out that the problem is with you, get some treatment. If it's with her, get some treatment. Play in the same team. Work it out as a team. Be there for each other as a team. Don't take your life story to your people. And she not get pregnant now. You know? I know somebody whose husband told her, well, why won't you have difficulty? Who knows how many people you have dated in the past? How many people you dated in the past has nothing to do with why you're not pregnant today. Some people who married as virgins struggle with infertility. According to the information from a World Health Organization, it says that 10 to 18% of couples who get married have difficulty getting pregnant, or even getting to, delivery. They find it difficult. 10 to 18%. 1 out of every 8 women will have infertility issues. 1 out of 8. Can you imagine that? It says that 6 out of 10 couples will get pregnant and bring the child to, delivery successfully without medical help. So the other 4, which is us now, imagine that in a street of 1,000 people, 400 of them are going through that. So we only see the 600 who gave birth naturally, who conceived naturally, and the rest of us. And we, those of us who have been through it or who are going through it, must not be ashamed to talk about it. It was when I started talking about it in the beginning, I was so ashamed to tell people that I'm having difficulty getting pregnant. I was ashamed to talk about it because I had a feeling that they would look at me like I'm a loser, that they would look at me that I am weak, that they would look at me, they will judge me and think of, maybe she has done that in the past, maybe she has been with too many men in the past, or she's not a good Christian, or one thing or the other. I had so many thoughts in my head. But when I started, the one of the things that opened my brain and my mind and the way I think is probably the family that I married into. There are people who how do I say it? When something is going on, they talk about it. They talk about it. But it took me a while. My husband likes to talk about things. And somebody asked, do you have a child? Oh, no, yeah, we are trying to get pregnant. And when we go away from that, I say, why did you tell them? Why are you telling them? I don't want everyone to know our story. But at the end of the day, whether they know, they don't know. I remember when I got pregnant, I didn't want my husband to tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. The first day you get positive, they tell it to everybody. We're having a child. Sister, hello, how are you? Yes, we just got a test result today. Yes, my wife is pregnant. And I will be so angry. And my husband will say, okay, I won't tell anybody. Then we go to visit the other auntie. Yeah, Amanda is pregnant. We're pregnant. And I'll be getting angry. Why is he telling our secret? But he should not. I know that they are evil people. I know that they are wicked people. But what God says will be, will be. infertility is not always caused by demons and satans and your mother-in-law, your father-in-law, or your sister-in-law who doesn't like you. Sometimes it could just be a medical problem. And so also with many other things in our lives that we look at as the devil wanted to do this, the devil wanted to do that. Yes, the devil does things, but come on, it's not all of them. If you are having irregular period, it's just your body, it's hormonal issues, and all it takes is a little bit of hormone medicine and tablets that you take, and it regulates your system. It regulates your system. These are things that we need to, take into consideration when we are going through things. It doesn't matter whether people know or not. You don't have to. Till now, I still don't announce everything. Yes, sometimes you have to keep certain things to yourself. Okay, if I'm working on something, I don't like to talk about it, not because people's witchcraft or anything will disturb it, but I want to be sure of what I'm doing. I want to, I don't want distractions of this thing may not work. It may work. It may do this. No, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear discouragement. So certain things, I'm working on a project, I don't talk about it. I just, work on what I'm working. I have people I talk to. I have friends that I trust that I can talk to. There should be people in your life you trust that you can talk to. So my sister that is struggling with getting pregnant, you are not the enemy. Enjoy your husband. Have a good time in your marriage. Stop blaming everybody. Stop thinking that everybody is the enemy. Look for people who you may be surprised. Millions of people are going through infertility. Millions of people in your street. If there are 2,000 people in your street, you might be surprised. You might be surprised that maybe about 500 or more of them are going through infertility or may have gone through infertility at a point in their life. Yes. Because you didn't know when it happened to them doesn't mean it's not happening. Because you didn't see when it happened to them doesn't mean it's not happening. Until we liberate ourselves from this mindset. One of the things I do, sometimes I come on air to talk, is just to let people know that you're not alone. Yes, somebody says, but because of our culture, going to hospital, even to get other options, is a problem. Aha! It's true. But we have to change it. We have to change it. Just because our culture is preventing us from doing certain things, we must change it. I belong to a group, and I read, I think it was 2 weeks ago, where somebody was asking the question, is IVF a sin? And somebody actually responded that IVF is a sin that is people trying to help God. So you are supposed to conceive naturally. So if you go and do IVF, you are committing sin. You are trying to help God. Wow. And many people didn't quite agree with that. He said, well, the Catholic Church condemns it, so it's not okay. And that is, for me, is lack of understanding. For a person who has hormonal imbalance, for example, if you go and they give you a tablet and your hormones begin to work well, is that not the doctor giving you the tablet? Is it God giving you the tablet? But God used that doctor to help you. So for me, I don't know what the great theologians will say or the great Bible scholars will say, but for me, it's not a sin. It's not a sin. And adopting a child is not a sin. It's not a bad thing. But many of us, we feel ashamed to tell all these things, to try out all these things, to want to do all these things. Because some of us have been brainwashed that no, you just continue to pray and sow. If I don't know what is my problem, what am I sowing for? If I think that the devil is holding my child, and the pure truth is that as a result of my age, as a result of hormonal malfunction, as a result of, what do you call it? Ovulation issues, that I'm unable to have a child. So when I am sowing, my prayer point is to have a child. My prayer point is not to regulate my system. So I must know what my problem is. And then when I sow seed, or when I pray, or when I fast, or when I do any spiritual thing that I need to do, you know, before I do anything that I want to do, I must know the real problem. Yeah, Helen Verhassel says, but some of our men don't like to go to checkup. There is a problem. I have heard this severally. People who know my story, sometimes it comes up, we talk about it. But since this book came out, since I did the interview with Dr. Sunday Adelaja, and a lot of people now reached out and got the book. A lot of them are now asking me these questions, and I found myself talking a lot about it and realizing that this is a very big problem. That our men automatically believe that the issue is from their wives. The family automatically believe is the woman. There are many people whose husbands have mobility problem. People who have lost sperm count. People who have other hormonal issues. People who don't have issues at all, but maybe just need to work on their stress. You can't tell somebody relax when they are having hormonal problem. You can't tell somebody relax when they are having, mobility troubles. These things need to be taken care of by the doctor. And that's where our men come in. Have yourself checked out. Support your wife. She's your partner. She's not the enemy. She's not the cause of anything, even if it's her body that is failing. Support her. Have yourself. It's a teamwork. It's a thing that you need to do together. It's not a one-man show. It's not a one-man show. It should be a thing that both of you will do together. But the real warriors, the real people who have issues, we are the ones, the women. Stop making life unbearable for your husband because this month, I have my period again. He's not the cause. If you lose your joy and you make home unbearable for him, when are you going to work as a team? When are you going to work as a team? Don't let your sadness, your depression. I know that depression is not a choice. It's not nobody wakes up to say, I want to get depressed. Nobody gets up to say, I want to get sad. I want to be sad. I want to worry. Those are the things that infertility causes in us. I'm able to talk about it because I went through a period where I was blaming my body. I was blaming everybody. I have no time. Why should I be happy? After all, I'm unable to get pregnant. Even when my husband is doing everything to make me happy, go everywhere with me, have fun, in my head, as we're having that fun, in my head, I'm thinking, instead of us to just stay home and be trying to get pregnant. But you cannot try to get pregnant every moment of the day. You can't try to get pregnant every moment of the day. But I didn't know that at the time. I had gone through it, and okay, God helped me and brought me out of it. So that at the end, I am telling the story. But I do know people who, because of the worry, because of anxiety, because of shame, because of all these emotional roller coaster, because of all these emotional troubles that I'm talking about, their relationships broke up. They go away, marry somebody else, and they get pregnant. Meanwhile, while they were in their husband's house, people, the families, they themselves were so hard on themselves, thinking, oh, my life is over. Why did I do this? Why is my body not helping me? Why is my body doing this to me? Why is my body doing that to me? But the moment they relaxed, the moment they took away those fear. I know a couple here, white couple, who tried for 10 years and didn't get a child. They didn't get pregnant. So they went to the Philippines and adopted a child. I didn't know this until my husband told them that we were trying to get pregnant. And then the woman told me, well, you have to realize this, that. She said they had done IVF 6 times. They didn't get pregnant. They tried on their own. They didn't get pregnant. They tried artificial insemination. They didn't get pregnant. They tried IVF. They didn't get pregnant. They tried ICSI. They didn't get pregnant. So they went and adopted a child. They brought the child home. The next year, she got pregnant on her own. Sometimes it's not your husband, it's not you. It's just a worry. Sometimes you don't have any problem. Your husband doesn't have any problem. It's just your worry. In my own case, I had issues. I had hormonal imbalance, so I couldn't get pregnant. But the truth is, some of these issues can actually correct themselves. Because after I had my last child, that irregular flow became very regular when I didn't need it anymore. Because at this time, my mind was now calm, my body was now calm, and everything became normal. Everything began to work normal. Why was it not working normal before? Could it be because I was stressed out, or could it be because I was taking those, hormonal tablets and it regulated everything? But when I needed it, it didn't regulate it. So we're going to stop in a few minutes. If you have anything to contribute, if you would like me to bring you on video to contribute, if you have any advice for women going through infertility, for women trying to get pregnant and they are not getting pregnant, for women who have anxiety, who are depressed, who have all kinds of stress, who are living with shame, who are living with unworthiness, that feeling of shame and unworthiness. If you have any advice for them, my advice is, you have no reason to feel unworthy. You are as worthy as any other woman. You are as worthy as the woman with 12 children. You are as worthy as any other woman anywhere. Because you did not cause anything for yourself. And even if you did, even if after checking you, the doctor said, well, one day you drank ogogoro, that is why you are not having a child. Or one day you ate rice and beans, you shouldn't have eaten it. Ufama and Igoro, God bless you, man. I appreciate you. God bless you, sis. You know, even if the doctor told you that you are the cause of your problem, your question should not be, oh my God, I'm dead. Your question should be, doctor, yes, okay, I did that. What now? Look for solution. Ask the doctor, what is the solution now? What can I do to repair this thing that I have damaged? And if it turns out that really that the womb is totally damaged, let me finish what I'm saying before I read this message. Even if the doctor says your body is totally damaged and you cannot have a child, there is what is called surrogacy. Get a surrogate mother. And what that means is that you get another person to carry your child. It's legal. You don't do it secretly. You get a lawyer. You sign papers. You make it official. You make it official. You get another person to carry the child. Okay? You get another person. They collect your egg and collect your husband's semen and implant it in another person, and that person will carry the child. It's done. Not only white people do it, black people do it. I know black people who have done it. I know white people who have done it. It's not criminal. It's not a bad thing. Instead of ending in a life of depression, it's better you go ahead. If it's something that you believe in, if it's something that you want to do, if it's something that you want to consider, it's an option. I'm not saying you must do it, but I'm just saying that it is an option. It is an option to adopt a child. If it's an option, if your body is not totally kaput, then try many of these things. You have in vitro fertilization, you have ordinary insemination, you have ICSI. There are levels. So you try those things, and instead of being at home and dying and blaming your father-in-law and your mother-in-law and your sister, one sister looked me bad eye. One of my friends, she's jealous of me that my husband is treating me well. So that's why they are preventing me from having a child. Sister, what about if your body is the one failing you like my body failed me? I remember when my mother was alive, every time I called her, she'll be praying for me. Oh, my Pekin, my child, whoever did this, whoever, that was after I lost the twins. She would always pray for me. Oh, whoever did this to me, I didn't eat anybody's child, so nobody will eat my own. I have not stopped anybody from giving birth, anybody's child from giving birth, so you must give birth. I called my mother one day and I told her, I said, Mama, I like it that you're praying for me, but pray for me so that I will have a child. But don't think that anybody is holding me. Nobody is holding me. My body failed me. It's just my body that was failing me. She said, I said, yes. When you are praying, pray that God will help me. Whatever it is that is making me not to get pregnant, let God deal with it. But please don't put your mind. And the moment I removed my mind from Okeke is killing me, Okafor is killing me, we must emancipate ourselves from mental slavery. Not everything is witchcraft. Not everything is jealous people. Not everything is bad people. Sometimes it's just our body. Everything is not juju. Everything is not witchcraft. You will be surprised if you go to these fertility hospitals to see the number of women. When I'm talking of women, the day I shut up, the day I stopped complaining, the day I realized that not everything is witchcraft, is the day I saw a 24-year-old girl who told me that she got married at the age of 19. And since that 19, had been trying Oyibo girl here in Genk. In my head, I was thinking, okay, which kind witch can they worry this one too? Because if it's in Nigeria, they will say, now witch they worry. I know that they are Oyibo, I don't know. There are so many things that if we remove our mind from it, and take that step to have ourselves properly checked out and see what medical science says. If eventually it says there is nothing wrong, it's still not witches and wizard, because sometimes it's just stress. Sometimes it may just be simple stress. Everybody says, well, I'm not thinking. Yes, stress doesn't mean that you are thinking. Maybe the stress of your job, maybe the stress of your school. Stress doesn't always have to be negative. It could be that you're just trying to, to get your degree. You're trying to do this, you're trying to do that. It causes stress too. Stress doesn't mean that I have so many bills to pay. I have one bad experience. Even the good things in life can cause you stress. Yes. Even the good things in life can cause you stress. You have a great job. You are getting well paid, or you have a great business that is doing well. But in order to keep that business, maintain it, sustainability, in order to sustain it, in order to make sure that it keeps bringing, keeps yielding well, you have to work on it. There are things that you need to do. You are doing things to help yourself. It's not a bad thing, but it will cause you stress. So there are some positive, welcome stress, but it depends on how you manage it. It depends on how you manage it. Stress can cause a lot of things. So for tonight, if you have any question, like I said before, we're going to stop. We're going to stop now. And if you have any question and you don't feel like asking it online, you can send me inbox on Facebook, or you can send me a text message. My number is +32 if you're calling from outside Belgium, 4735-26048, or you can send me a WhatsApp message. You can send me inbox on Facebook. And by next week, we're still going to talk on this matter again. Today, we talked about infertility as it concerns women, as it affects women. It's not only women that have this problem. 1/3, according to World Health Organization, 1/3 of the problem of infertility in couples come from men, and 1/3 from women. The remaining one come from unknown causes. The remaining percentage come from unknown sources. But 1/3 is ascribed to the women, 1/3 to the men. So infertility in relationships, many times, it doesn't come from the woman or the man. It can be from the woman, it can be from the man, it can be a combination of both. It can be a combination of both. And this affects millions of people all over the world. 10 to 18% of couples have infertility issues. Can you imagine that percentage? 10 to 18% of couples have infertility problems. Can you imagine 10% of your street people? If there are 1,000, at least 100 people have it. Either from the man or the woman or both of them. So my sisters, don't kill yourself. Don't get crazy. Don't become depressed because you didn't get pregnant. Find solutions to your problem. Go find a doctor. Love your husband. Don't start expecting your husband to have the same pain that you have, because he's not a man. No matter how much your husband loves you, when you are going through infertility, and at the end of every month or whenever it is that your flow is, and you have it, and you're miserable, your husband will always tell you, baby, it will be okay. Don't worry, sweetie, it will be okay. That's it. He's not crying with you, and he will not cry with you. The reason is not because he's wicked. I know that now. I didn't know it then. Then I was always thinking, but why is he not crying? Because I wanted him to feel the pain that I was feeling. But it was my body. The hormone was in me. It's not in him. A man is not wired with those hormones. You are. You and I are wired. We have those hormones in us. Men don't have it. So don't expect your husband to feel the same pain. Bethel, God bless you. Tipo Holdings, God bless you. Lock your Morgan, God bless you. Amanda, Anne-Marie Conte, Minister, God bless you. I appreciate you. Victoria Bukola Umene, God bless you. Thank you very much for joining. Felicity Evie, God bless you. Regina Njoki, God bless you. I appreciate all of you. Ufama Anigoro, God bless you. Thank you so much. So until next week, I will be waiting for your questions. I'll be waiting for your whatever it is that you want us to talk about. If you have any contribution, send it to me or say it here or just say invite me. I will invite you so that you can say your piece. You can advise, or is it an advice? Is it a contribution? Is it a question that you have? Just give me an okay to invite you. If there is nobody, well, I think we'll end it here and wait until next week. I'll be waiting for your question, and by next week I will take some of the questions that have been sent to me, and then we'll talk more on this. The reason I'm doing this is to empower women who are dealing with infertility. The problem is not there to kill you. You must not lose yourself. You must not give up on yourself. It's not your fault. Guilt should not kill you. Or feeling of unworthiness should not kill you. That feeling of depression should not kill you, because even if you get pregnant as a depressed mother, by the time you have the child, you will not even enjoy the child. I can talk about it now, but then nobody told me. So I have to deal with those things and now learn from them. But I want to save many women this problem. I want to save women from, encountering the same problems that I went through. I want to, amen. Bless you, Felicity. Princess Adeyowa Agbe, God bless you. I want to save women from the same issues I had, from the pain, from the trauma, from the stress, from the shame. Can you imagine? Somebody is married and they are not pregnant. What is there to be ashamed of? But I felt shame. And many women I'm talking to are feeling shamed. Many women are ashamed to talk about it. They feel so small in their marriage. They feel so little. They feel so worthless in their marriage. You are not pregnant doesn't mean you should feel worthless, because you are not. You are not worthless. You are still who God has called you to be. You are still the same person that your husband fell in love with. You are still the same person he fell in love with. If you love him, he will love you back. But when he comes home and you're crying from morning till night because you're not pregnant, even if the problem is with him, I appreciate you. Thank you, Foma. Thank you very much, all of you. Like I said, we're going to stop here. Before we stop, I just want to make a very, very short prayer for that woman, that man, that couple. That you are going through a period of infertility in your life, that you cannot give up. You cannot become each other's enemy. That God helps you to work together as a team. That God helps you to find that place, you, my sister, find that place in your heart to appreciate yourself and appreciate your husband. Because if you cannot appreciate what you have beyond having a child, there are people who have children and they still separate. God bless you, Adewa. There are people who have children and they still separate. So if you destroy your relationship, if you separate your husband emotionally, separate from your husband emotionally because, don't you know I'm depressed because I'm not pregnant. By the time you have the pregnancy, you are so far separated that you can't come back again. So my prayer for you this night, my sister, is that God empowers you, that God strengthens you in that which you are going through. In this moment of, or this period of infertility, in this period of barrenness, in this period that you're going through this hell, that God strengthens you. If you want to talk, if you want to discuss with me, feel free, send me an inbox. I know that many will not respond online because they feel like, no, this is too shameful. I cannot talk about it. Sister, I feel you. I was there. Where I don't want anybody to know my story. I don't want anybody to know that I'm having difficulty getting pregnant. I don't want anybody to know because they will ask me and then I will have to say, well, I'm having this and this problem. That shame was there. So my prayer for you tonight, sister, is that the peace of God, which surpasses all things, remain with you until we meet again next week. Send your questions to me. Take your time, watch this video. Take a few points. I said it in the beginning. I am not speaking as a doctor. By no means trying to tell you how to prevent infertility or how to treat it. No. But the little that I did, or that I should have done that I didn't do, or that I did I shouldn't have done, is what I'm telling you today to prevent you from going through hell. When I look back, I had no reason to deal with so many things that I put myself in. My husband didn't put me through any pain because I was going through infertility. No, I put myself there because I was desperate, because I desperately needed to get pregnant, because I wanted. I needed. Even when my husband was not disturbing me, I wanted. And I put myself into those troubles. I made those sad days for myself. If you know someone who is going through infertility, give them the same advice. Send this video to them so that they understand that they are not alone. Many go through it, but many don't talk about it. It's such a secret club. But the moment you find yourself inside and talk to one person, a new world opens. You see that you are not alone. Look for support groups. There are support groups. I didn't know until I found myself in that circle. So until we meet again. Somebody just sent a message. What is that message? Okay. I request to be in. Okay, sure. Sent a message to be in the broadcast. Let me see. I'm adding you, Nanayo. So while we're waiting for him, okay, no problem. So God bless you until we meet again. Someone, help share the video, invite someone, and we'll meet again next week. M.O. Greg, God bless you, but you came a little bit late. So watch the video later. God bless you. Bye. If you want to be a guest on the show, if you want to be part of it, send me a message and then we will talk about it. God bless you. If you have a story to share, if you have something that can encourage somebody, if you have something that can help somebody not to go through this period, go through this emotional roller coaster, these pains, this stress, this trauma, this stigma. There is a stigma that our society places on people. If you don't want someone to go through that, if you want someone to walk with their head high, in spite of the stigma that is connected with infertility, that shouldn't be there, reach out, share this video. Let's talk about it. Bring your own ideas. See you next week.